We often think that for an artist to make it big, they need a huge record label or a massive marketing budget. But what if that's not the whole story? What if the real power lies with the community? Today, we're going to dive into the anatomy of a fan campaign, a case study really, on how a passionate group of people are trying to work some magic for an artist they believe in.
And it all comes down to this one date, October 11th. Remember that, because every single thing we're about to talk about, every plan, every tweet, every idea is all driving toward this one day. This isn't just a date on the calendar, it's the finish line.
And that really brings us to the big question, doesn't it? I mean, in a world that is just flooded with content, where everyone is vying for your attention, how does an independent artist actually fill the seats for a show? What's the secret sauce?
Well, for this particular artist, the answer wasn't some fancy marketing agency. Nope, the answer was to form an uendan. It's a Japanese term, and it basically means a support squad. But we're talking about fans who decide to take matters into their own hands and actively rally for a cause they believe in.
Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. With less than 2 months to go until that big October 11th show, the clock is absolutely ticking. The mission is simple, but it's huge. Help the artist NamihiraAyuko fill every single seat and have a completely unforgettable concert.
So let's be super clear about what an uendan really is. This is not your average fan club where you just, buy a t-shirt. This is an organized, passionate, and pretty strategic support squad. Think less like passive observers and way more like a dedicated volunteer campaign team. They are the engine driving this entire thing forward.
So who's the brain trust here? Well, it's a small but seriously mighty core team.旅Radio no Bucho, Ta-chan, and Ippuku. And get this, their headquarters? It's not some flashy office. It's a simple line group chat. All of this incredible organization is happening right from their phones. I mean, this is grassroots organizing in its absolute purest form.
Okay, so what has this little team actually done so far? They've been busy, let me tell you. Let's take a look at the groundwork they've laid, because it's been a series of really smart, strategic steps. You can see their approach here wasn't just random. It was a very deliberate buildup of momentum. It all kicked off with a dedicated podcast episode in late June. A month later, bam, the core team is officially formed in that line group. And from there, they just hit the ground running, focusing on visibility and creating these really cool, direct engagement opportunities with the artist herself.
Now this, right here, this was one of their most brilliant early moves. They created these 2 hashtags. One is just her name, and the other adds the concert date. Just like that, they created a simple, unified digital rallying cry for all social media. It's so simple, it's memorable, and it is incredibly effective.
So, they've got this great foundation in place. What's next? Well, the uendan is now deep in brainstorming mode for that final push. And what's really interesting is how realistic they're being about the challenges they're facing.
First up, they're talking about going old school with physical flyers. The idea of getting them into a friendly local spot sounds great. But they're also asking the right questions. Like, okay, but seriously, what's the real impact of a paper flyer these days? And maybe even more importantly, who has the connections to actually get shops to say yes?
And of course, they know they have to play in the world of short-form video. The potential to reach people is just massive. But the challenge? It's even bigger. How on earth do you make a reel or a TikTok that can actually cut through that endless, mindless scroll and make somebody stop, look, and listen? And then you've got the big one, paid ads. Running targeted ads on platforms like X or Instagram could introduce NamihiraAyuko to thousands of potential new fans. But this, of course, slams right into that classic hurdle for any grassroots movement. Where is the money gonna come from? Now this is what a SMART goal looks like. It's not some vague wish like, oh, I hope we get more fans. No, it is a concrete, measurable target. Let's get the artist's YouTube channel from 800 subscribers up to the 1,000 mark. That's a clear objective everyone can understand and get behind.
And this, right here, might just be the most important part of this whole thing. This mission is not just for the core team. It's designed from the ground up to be an open invitation. They've built a system where pretty much anyone, anywhere, can chip in and become part of the support squad.
And look at how easy they've made it to contribute. The barrier to entry is basically zero. You can help out with just a simple like or a repost. You can follow our accounts. You can subscribe on YouTube. Or maybe you're creative and you want to make your own fan art. You could even help hand out those flyers we talked about. And hey, for those who can, there are even ways to help out financially. There is literally a role for every single level of commitment. This quote, "This might just be the secret sauce to their entire strategy. It's a philosophy built on sustainability." The message is just so clear. Help out in a way that works for you, without pushing yourself too hard. This is a masterclass in preventing volunteer burnout and building a community that can actually go the distance.
So in the end, this whole story is so much bigger than just one concert. It's a blueprint. It's proof of what is possible when even a small group of people decides to organize around something they truly, genuinely love. So the question I want to leave you with is this. What's the cause you care about? And what could your own Oendon achieve?